This is my quickie recipe for pepperoni cheese twist bread. It's really simple to make, no mixer or bread machine required. And to make it a quick recipe, I will only proof the dough once. Super delicious, but must be eaten fresh out the oven to get the best texture. The outside is buttery and crispy, the inside is soft and moist. I love the spiciness from the pepperoni, but you can use something else like ham or bacon if you prefer. 80 grams of milk. It's cold milk straight out of the fridge. 80 grams of warm water. The temperature of the liquids together should be just barely warm. 1 teaspoon of sugar. 2 teaspoons of yeast. I like using instant, but dry active will work too. Stir to dissolve the yeast. It's not necessary to wait until it foams, but you can if you want to check your yeast is okay. 250 grams of flour. I use 125 of all-purpose flour and 125 of bread flour. You can use all-purpose or all bread if you like. Sprinkle over half teaspoon of salt. I also add a dash of garlic powder and some dry oregano. These are optional. Mix to form a dough. It's a rather soft and sticky dough. Lay down a piece of plastic wrap. Mine is very thin, so I use 2 layers. I have 15 grams of butter that's melted and cooled. Brush a light coating all over the plastic. Put the dough on the plastic, a little butter on top. Fold and press. If you find the plastic wrap a bit small, you can lay another piece on top. Only need to work on the dough for about 2 minutes. I like to do tri-folds and half folds. Brush on a layer of butter, just a thin layer is fine. Do a tri-fold, press out. Brush on another layer of butter. I like to incorporate the butter this way. I think it gives the bread a slightly better texture. Lay a piece of plastic wrap on top. Use a rolling pin to roll it out into a large rectangle. Or you can just press out with your hands. I forgot to measure. I would guess it's about 40 by 20 centimeters. Another brush of butter. For the filling, I have cut up about 7 or 8 pieces of pepperoni and 60 grams of shredded cheddar cheese. Scatter over the cheese and the pepperoni. Leave a 2 centimeter gap at the top. Roll it up. I press down to tighten the roll. Pinch the seam to seal, and also the 2 ends. The twist is not difficult to make, but if you want an even easier option, you can cut the log into pieces and bake as a pull-apart bread. I use a butter thinner knife to cut. Leave 3 centimeters or so on the top intact. Cut straight down without dragging the knife to avoid cutting through the plastic wrap or deforming the dough. I go over it again. It looks like I'm pulling the knife, but I'm not, just small cutting down motions. I transfer the dough by flipping it onto the tray like this. Or alternatively, you can transfer it onto your tray first, then make the cut. I just didn't want to cut on the foil. The tray has been lined with foil that's greased with some butter. Turn them so the cut sides are facing up. It feels like they're going to fall apart, but don't panic, they're okay. Basically, it's just one over the other. This is actually my first time making a twist out of this bread, and despite being a little clumsy, I was pleased with the result. Pinch the ends together and tuck underneath. Let it proof in a warm place for 30 to 35 minutes. This is optional. I lightly brush some butter onto areas of dough that are without cheese or pepperoni. If you're worried about deflating the dough, then don't do it. Bake in an oven that has been preheated to 195 degrees Celsius or 175 for a fan oven. I bake for a total of 20 minutes, but after 12 minutes, check on it. If it's browning well, lower the temperature by 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Here it is, nicely browned all over. It's to be eaten warm and fresh out the oven. Easiest to just tear and share. Crispy buttery crust, soft moist tender inside. It's cheesy, a little garlicky and herby, and bits of baked spicy pepperoni. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and check out my other videos.